And the kettle and stuff I could probably put somewhere else, but wow, that one's full. All right, so I've got a bit of like I got to deal with this box later kind of box. And yeah, I also do have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. I even have a gun. I just haven't dabbled with any of it yet. Got the gardening stuff, cleaning stuff. I could go out and use that, but I think I got to grab a bucket of water. So I don't know if I've got to use these specifically, but I might do that in a second. I also thought I had a light box. This is supposed to be for wood, I think. Wood or food or something. And I don't have much else going on in here yet. And I'm going to put a bed in that corner because I got rid of the bed that's on this side and I really should have left it. But I want to put the fireplace here again so that I can have like a warm room. Because last time I ended up just like sleeping in front of it. Like her room is essentially this one up the back here, right? But I did sleep in here in winter a lot, and I also read by the fire a fair bit, so it's kind of necessary that I at least have something. And I've already got some extra firewood, which I guess we could go put down on... Well, I was going to say put it on the ground, but I'll put it in the thing. And I've got a cool little light thingy there too. I might just place this where I can see that for the moment. Because like if I want the big torch, I want the big torch. So let's chuck the firewood in there. Fuck knows what I'm doing with that whetstone and the rest of this stuff for the moment. I've got to put the saucepan outside. I have not found a place for the wine. And I do have to go next door and dismantle like a whole bunch of like lights and shit. Or at least disconnect them. But... yeah, we kind of have time. I'm pretty certain I have redded it of zombies. Okay, get your thing back on you. Hold on a second. Give me maybe that. Please don't drink it. I'd use that for just a second. I want to clean this shit if I can. Because, like, it's not inside the house, but it does bother me to look at it. Can I clean the stains here? Are you going inside to do that? No. Clean the stains here. Is it going to do up the wall? Let's find out. Maybe. Maybe. Dismantling is favorite because it helps level electrical. I have found that, like, dismantling electrical stuff isn't too bad for my character, but I found that dismantling objects, like carpentry sort of style stuff, does not seem to work. I've had it on at least a couple of characters where I could not get them carpentry skills, and dismantling things gave them no XP. And I don't know if it's just my game is fucked, or if they change something and you just can't get the XP from it. It's one of those, like, I don't know which it is, you know? I also kind of want to leave some of the eggs here too. And put that in there. Alright. So got a bit of crackers, got a bit of eggs. I'll chuck those in here because, I mean, it's fine. I don't have a lot in the fridge anyway. I do have rotted stuff that I need to go put next door. We'll go take the rotten stuff and we'll go stash that in the house next door because I don't have a Plonky's van outside anymore. So I can't just, you know, leave that in the Plonky's van like I did last time. They moved it for carpentry, everything but electrical, without changing settings in sandbox. Yeah, no, I've got everything set to the, what do you call it, the base standard settings of Builder. Like, whatever Builder's settings are, I mean. But, yeah. I didn't change anything because I'm like, I wanted to make sure that if I was asking questions and stuff, I didn't have any custom settings that could potentially alter the outcome of the information. But this place has a bed upstairs that I want to steal, but it has a bunch of lights that I need to walk around and turn off because I think I can just, yeah, click it like that. And I've been in here before. Don't know if that's on. No, it doesn't have power, but when we have power, it could be on. So I will have to come back and check that. What is this? Keys? Some kind of key ring. Alright, that's fine. And there's a bunch of water I left in here too. So I guess yay me. Let's stow all this rotted stuff. Although this, if I don't put it in the fridge, we'll probably get rats in the house next door. And I don't want rats that close to my business. You know? I also forgot that I brought all the cleaning shit. And now she's getting exhausted. It's okay at the moment. So yeah, I'm just going to store like rotted stuff in my neighbor's fridges. And I know that I can't... I can lift out their fridge, but when I have power on, it will be using it. Where's the light switch for this room? I guess I could take the water home. And there's spaghetti and shit too. Let's take whatever we can carry. This isn't going to make her any better. But free water. And apparently maybe a rotted soup. I might need to like turn that upside down first. Actually, hold on. Can you empty this? Yeah, pour on the ground. Pour that shit out. I didn't realize that I left stuff in there. But yeah, early on, I ended up like filling up all the water and stuff in any of the houses. So I've got like a bunch of like fresh water in and around the place, which, you know, it's whatever. But I also have a glitch with some of my water stuff. I don't know if you guys get this, but you know how it says like it's got 1.5 out of 1.5 liters. When I transfer liquids, I sometimes get it say it's got negative 0.1 liter of water. And so it will say that it's got water in it, but it's actually negative. Like it's even emptier than empty, if that makes sense. So I don't know if their bathroom had a light on. Whoops. Don't you turn that off. I don't know if I'm turning some of these technically on. I'll only find out once it goes to nighttime. Yeah, so in here, I want to steal one of their beds, essentially. Turn that off to leave that room with its light on. I don't know if this one's technically on. I'm glad to see that there's like no additional zombies in here. Okay, I will have to probably pop my generator on and just come have a quick look. Default settings, dismantling lamps and TV stuff still helps electric at least, but I got rid of the XP grind for most things, sadly. I can see why they'd get rid of it because like I could just imagine like somebody just sitting there and just doing it. Like the very first thing I did in Zomboid was like I went down to the church that's just down the road here. And I was like, there's plenty of like wooden pews that I could kind of just sit there and like dismantle. And that's why I like went to it because I'm like, I had seen people playing Zomboid before that had done like, you know, just dismantling stuff nonstop to try to get like carpentry skills. So I just did the same. And yeah, I can see why they removed it because like I kind of thought I could get the skills up. But yeah, dismantling something doesn't always give you the skill to build something new. Like in reality, pulling apart something carefully and like seeing how it was put together can teach you how to craft something, which I do like that they brought in like the ability where you can click on it and you might be able to like maybe learn how that was made, right? I do like that. But yeah, I can understand that like if you take a hammer to something and like you bash apart like, I don't know, like a table, for instance, not going to necessarily tell you how to like make that specific table again. It will tell you how to put it together for sure, but it won't tell you how to like cut and craft and all that sort of stuff. So I can see why they don't want it to give you carpentry skills. I'm putting, I think, the sponge and shit in this room. She is getting very tired, but this is okay just for like a few more minutes because I'm only going between the two houses at the moment and it's nothing too bad. So I'll just chuck the saucepan out the front and then I'll go quickly pop the generator on and I'll go next door and make sure that I've turned off everything. Obviously, they have a fridge and I can't dismantle it. I don't know if I can lift it at this point. If I could lift it up, I could take it off my generator. Turn that on. But now you can choose level dismantling you get from XP up to, I'd say maybe allowing you to level of 2, it makes sense. Like, I could see that, like, it could probably, depending on what you pull apart, I could see if they limited it to maybe, like, what you pull apart. Maybe, like, certain things could maybe give you more. I can turn that off. So, what in here is on? That's off. That's off. This is on. Turn that off. This looks like it's on. Yeah, that's on. Let's go upstairs. I can't do anything about the... I don't know if... Yeah, no, that's off. Kind of don't want the lamp in here. Eventually I will need this room, but turn that off. This room's already off. Okay, if it's lit up with the little orange bit, it's already off. So that one's off. That one's off. That's on. Turn that off. Is this on? Has power. It's turned off. I could dismantle those. They wouldn't have power then. So there's like at least 2 TVs in here. I feel like that's turned off in the corner there. If it's dark, it's normally off. Okay. I think everything is off except for the fridge. And I haven't checked if they have a backlight. Get yourself down to 10 encumbrance. You can pick up the fridge. I mean, that's a if button, maybe. Kind of like never not have encumbrance. Because I won't remove certain things. But I think we've got everything turned off apart from the fridge. So my house should have X number of light. See, I do have the light above this specifically to alert me that it's on. So let's see. It's got a blue fridge, 9 lights now instead of 15. A plain fridge. And yeah, okay. So 9 lights. Okay, hold on. Let's quickly go through. We've got 1, which I'm living on. That's not on. That's not on. We have so many in here that's on. I don't need this one on. That one was already off. I shouldn't have shut that, but that's fine. That one doesn't need to be on. For the purpose of just... Oops, wrong way. For the purpose of just turning on lights. I feel like there was a light switch there. I can't see it. There it is. It's on the corner here. That one's already off. And I do think I've got the one downstairs on. Just for the ability to see. Yes. Okay. I kind of feel like I'm going to leave that one on. I'll leave that one on. There's like an unlikeliness that I need to be down there for the moment that I require the generator. But I want this to have the oven. So that should have taken down a couple more. 7 lights, fridge, and the other fridge. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not terrible. I could turn off the one downstairs. I could turn off this light if I really needed to. And I've got the fridge across the road. I'm not planning to like run generators and stuff, but in the event that I urgently need to cook or boil water, I would like the option to be able to do that. Now, she is very hungry, but she has eaten a lot. I also feel like I should have just cooked the eggs for like a hot minute. Because then we'd have like a shit ton of like fresh eggs. And I don't know if these things give her much nutrition. A stack of encumbrance, nah, it's fine. Let's chuck those in here. I might just, we'll maximize this. We'll put a bucket of water in there too, just in case. Like, I could always like wash her up, or I could fill up some drink bottles, whatever works. I don't know if that's fully full, but it's fine. Grab a bucket. And hopefully the eggs and that will fit in there. But, yeah. This way we hopefully will get some food and some more fresh water, even though we've got like a good amount of water for the moment. I know that I've got to come back in and turn it on, but I really should have probably just turned it on before while I was going next door. Do you want to turn that on? It shouldn't take too long. I feel like there's an extra light in here. It's an all-room light. Fuck it. Hold on. I'll find that in a second. You, oven business, you. Turn on for a second. Turn that shit on for a sec. Where is the light switch in here? That's not it. That's not it. Because the light switch over here is already, as far as I'm aware, this is turned off. Although I feel like everything just feels like it turned back on. Like, this is a very bright room. And I have a light out the front that's not supposed to be on. You're not supposed to be on. That's off. What's the light switch for here? Because this room becomes too bright when I turn it on. But 2 wall lights in the basement, separate from the switch. Not sure if you can manually turn them on and off. I think you can turn on whichever lights you want. Like, I could walk up to a bulb and say I could turn it on. Like, I'm curious if, for instance, there we go. Like that kind of thing. Like, I could walk up and I could switch one like that, which I do want to keep one in there. And I've got a light switch in here, but I just don't know why this room is so much brighter. Hang on, where was that? That's off for in here. That's for then there. I do not know where the other light switch for here. I assume that there is another one. Oh, fuck, I burnt the eggs. Oh, I can't probably eat those fuckers. And the water bucket's good. So we'll turn that shit off. So, yeah. I also kind of would like it if, you know when you boil water? You know what I think would be neat? Is if you could boil water, because I know that you can get like a hot water bottle, right? But what if just the concept of just holding on to like a warm bucket of water and stuff would heat you up in winter? Like in summer it makes you like sweat and shit, but the rest of the time it's just actually good, you know? I have like a couple of empty things. Like I think that would be pretty reasonable survival stuff. Like obviously like I have some questions about like, not actual questions, but I have like questions about like them picking up like the metal things and stuff. Like I do find it a bit like they probably shouldn't do that. All right, holy shit, just sit your ass on the ground, love. I've got couches, but I'm just going to transfer a bit of water. And she's getting a bit fucking done. Let's get some water into these. Yeah, it would be nice. That'd be cool, but it wouldn't last long. Well, no, but you know how like you can get the water bucket, not the water bucket, the water bottle thing, right? You can actually find a literal water bottle, right? That's like a hot water bottle type thing. And it would be nice if you could put like hot water in that and it would maybe be set up that it could hold on to water or retain heat for a while. Because like that's the whole point of what a hot water bottle does. Like I understand in this game you can actually just use it as like basically a water bladder, right? And therefore have like water accessibility and stuff. But yeah, I think it could hold like a secondary function. Like I don't know if I've got one here at the moment, but I'll go have a quick look. I'll also place this down here because this is full for the moment. I'd like to transfer that into some things because I want to leave the big bucket outside, but it is clean at the moment. Hold on a second. What? So welcome in, Sensei. Let's see. If I have one, it would be in here.
Cheese.
Terrible. Hey, Keelan. What are you up to? I have a bath towel. I know it's like a pinky color kind of thing. I might not have one on this specific game, but I had one in the past. And I just kind of feel like it's something where you should be able to put water in it and it should be able to keep you warm. At least, like, it should be something that maybe... Okay, hold on. I got a double idea for this. Hold on, sit your ass on the ground. Okay, so not just keeping you warm, but you know when, like, you do exercise and stuff and you've got, like, muscle sprains and, like, aches and stuff? Maybe it has, like, the secondary purpose of being able to soothe that shit or speed up the recovery of that. That would be pretty epic. Imagine that. It's like you could do a shit ton of exercise and like, or possibly be in a winter environment where you might be sick and then like fill up a hot water bottle with like hot water that you've just boiled and go sit down with that. And then bam, you're not suddenly like as sore or injured or cold or sick. There you go. That's my thoughts on it. Still lurking around, apparently. You just stretch a little bit. Having coolers also keeps you food cool for longer. Be really another cool thing. Because they do have coolers, don't they? They have like little cooler things that you can have. But yeah, I figured like you had to be able to cool it first. Because I've mostly been in games where I don't have electricity for like a long time. I'm going to go put these in the neighbor's house. Yeah, I've had it where I haven't had like electricity just craps out on like day 2 or 4. This is the only game I've had where I had power until like the 5th of August. It was insane. I've never had a game where I've had like a month of fucking electricity. I was just constantly waiting for it to die out, you know? But I was like, you know, it would make sense if you could chill it in like a fridge or a freezer. You could potentially use that to keep things cool effectively. It would be great. Let's chuck the burnt eggs in there. I wasted so many eggs. They were good eggs too. Actually, I could probably also fill up my drink bottle in this house, because why not? Yeah, fill that shit up. Potentially related to that. Currently, coolers don't keep refrigerated items cold longer. Yeah. I think it would be more of a like medical concept. Like if you have a cold, it would help relieve the cold. Well, yeah, I just don't know how hard it would be for them to bond like several different types of things to an object. Because like at the moment, like a bat is a weapon, right? But there's other stuff inside the house that I've got that's like tools and weapons, and you can use them to obviously hit, but you can use them to craft, and it doesn't destroy things and stuff, you know? I don't know if we have a book that she could possibly read. I don't know if we've got like a level 1 book. I know I don't have a low carpentry. Let's see. First aid. She's already read first aid. She already read mechanics. I was hoping I had like maybe electrical in a low grade book. I do have a few books around the place. I just got to find where I put everything, you know. Is it? I like this idea. It's a simple, just hit up the devs. Yeah, I have no idea how to contact any like dev teams or stuff like that. I just kind of like, I don't know, I say things, and if things happen in the game, things happen in the game. Like, it's more of like I like this concept. If it existed, I'd be cool with it. But if it didn't exist, like, big whoop, the game's fine kind of thing. That's more of like how I am. I could learn cooking. I don't know if carving... I know, I got electrical. Hold on. Grab that for a second. I could definitely hit up a book. Because we could do with a book and maybe some food. Maybe give you some pineapples. Bit of fruit. Fuck knows what pineapple's good for apart from acidity, but we'll sit your ass down. And we've got like the yoga mat. We've got a good couch. We've got the bonsai tree now and here. Fuck knows what that is. I think that's glitter. I feel like it's necessary. Anyway. So I love that you keep your gasoline in the same room. It's American flag. Nah, I just, like, I don't know. Obviously, this is, like, American sort of themed environment type thing or whatever. So, like, I haven't removed it or anything. But, like, I have said that, like, it would be kind of funny if, like, you could go into houses and they had, like, different flags and stuff like that. But, no, I've just got all my car stuff in there. Because in previous games, I had all of my car parts, spare hoods, and tires and shit in that room. And this time around, I started with a lot of fuel. So I just, like, stockpiled as much fuel as I could in that room. Mind you, like, if this was any other game, that shit would just go up like a fucking light. But I do want to get her electrical skills before I start pulling apart anything electrical. I can't do anything about carpentry. I just can't find a fucking carpentry book. And I would like her to cut up the wood, but... And somebody's dying again. I'd like her to find a fucking stove, but it's going to be a bit bigger of a task to try to, like, track down one. And again, no hints, guys. I have multifunction items a lot right now since 42. They're still in the works. A lot of guessing there's just lots of little coding things not finished yet. I'd say so. I'd say that it's one of those things where it's like you code something and make it stable. And then if you want to add in an additional function or additional code or something like that, like you got to work with that too. Plus, I also kind of figure like, I don't know how fucking hard it is for them to like make these things as well, like the visual aspect of a task or an action and stuff. Like, I would imagine with a hot water bottle, it would just be a matter of putting hot water in it and then putting said hot water bottle heated in your inventory, right? On like your actual inventory. That would make sense to me because if you put it in a bag, it might give you some warmth, but I doubt it would give you direct warmth, right? It looks like it's getting a bit dark too. It's very green. I don't know about you guys, but when it gets green like this in Australia, you get hail. So there better be an interesting storm coming with this. But she's fucking starving to death again. Hold on a second. I gave you pineapples, love. With pineapples, probably not enough. Let's hit up that tuna. Get you some proteins and shit. I do have to like pay attention to like not having her die as well. But like even just like a small action like this, like you gotta have like that can rotate, you gotta have the hand move, the body moves a little bit, items on her move. Like there's motion to some of these actions and stuff. But like I imagine like a cooling unit or a heating something, like I think it's more of like a passive action. It wouldn't be too much to like make it move kind of thing. But I've also said like, you know, when like you're carrying a lot of weight, I do feel like that should affect your character's weight and strength as well. I feel like that's one of those things where like if you're carrying a lot of weight on you, right, if you're constantly walking around with weighted gear, you should build up strength, but you should also probably lose a bit of weight doing that kind of thing. It's a bit late for her and she's no longer starving to death, so I'll put her to bed because it's quite dark. So I don't want to waste her battery, but I do have to put a new battery in that torch too. So there's that. Animations for other things are pretty tough. I imagine so. It's not too early in the morning. It's still dark. I do like that her house, as much as like we don't have it like secured, is still like secure enough that I don't generally have to worry about zombies. I heard something that I'm like immediately on alert, but yeah, there is like a, to be fair, yeah, it's too dark to read. There is a pack of zombies down here. There's like a really big pack in like the field. So I do have to be like mindful of that, but I'm not otherwise deeply concerned. Where she lives is pretty calm. Get you the beans and we'll go sit down and we'll open that. And then you can finish reading the book once daylight hits. And then we'll have the electrical skills. So you go sit down again. So what I'm thinking is that we will have to do carpentry stuff, and I have not successfully found a carpentry book this time, like a low-level carpentry book to fix her up with that. But she will have like basic electrics and stuff, and I could pull apart a bunch of stuff. Like I could pull apart the TVs in the house down. I also have a shit ton of electronics in here, but I don't want to pull those apart yet. I want to wait till winter because that gives her something to do while she's sitting stuck inside in the warmth. So I'm trying to leave that till then. Plus, whoever I have over winter is whoever I have over winter. So there's that too. No, it does burn more calories. They just kept losing weight to kilo per weight change tick, roughly per day. Okay. I didn't know that because my girl's usually walking around with like extremely overloaded is like usually what she's doing. And when I was doing like a lot of the car stuff, she was like constantly overloaded with like lifting hoods and all sorts of stuff. Like I just feel like it should have contributed to gaining strength as well, or like building up some kind of endurance. Like what have they got? They've got strength, fitness. I feel like that might help. Increase attack speed, melee, chance of climbing, decrease exhaustion rate. What does strength do? Increases melee attack damage, knock back your inventory encumbrance limit, reduces muscle strain. Oh yeah, this is the funniest thing. As I went from like weak I went from like a weak character to having like strength, so I could suddenly have like inventory and stuff. It was so funny. Mind you, she is kind of like holding her weight, so it's good. And I don't think her gear is too wrecked, which is also kind of good. So she's read a book, and I've gone through like the, I don't know if that's where I wanted to put it, but I think, no, not on the top bit. Hold on a sec. I gotta move that down to that one. Because I was keeping, originally I was keeping a lot of the magazines in here, but I think those are spares. Because I wanted to make those into armor, if I could. Basic armor. Mind you, she's got like good otherwise armor. She's got her elbow pads, she's got her knee pads, she's got a vest, she's got a helmet. And she's got thick ass gloves. I found these like hockey gloves or something. I don't know what the fuck they are. What are they? I also found a chainmail glove. I thought that was neat. I found that in the kitchen. I've never seen one of those before. But yeah, that was some good shit. It's one of those like, yes. I do kind of feel like there should be like stuff like that, because yeah, if you go into like a butchering place or like a meat store or something or whatever, right? I kind of feel like you should be able to find like little like chainmail stuff like that. And I'll place that out here. I know these get like bad for like tainted, but yeah. And the zombies don't look like they've gotten any closer, which is great. They're kind of like still without like outside of the range, so yeah. Is it they're not a way to gain XP bonus and multiplier besides protein management? I might have missed something there. Hold on. It does contribute to strength. No, I saw that. Oh, there's not a way to gain XP bonus or multiplier besides protein management. You should make that you gain strength and endurance for being overloaded. I'm always overloaded my playthroughs. It just doesn't make sense. I kind of like feel like, you know, like weights training where you can like strap on like weights like your ankles and your wrist or your stomach or whatever, and like you can like walk around in your daily life or go for a jog or something like that, and it increases like the muscles and stuff that you have to engage to do that activity. I kind of feel like that's what being overloaded with like a heavy backpack or like a lot of gear on your body and stuff should do to you, you know? I see it as like one-to-one the same thing, you know? Also, I'm also at the end of my night. I'm stopping early tonight because I have been like really tired. Otherwise, I would stream to like 2 a.m. But essentially, I will do probably the wood cutting and more searching for a stove in the next stream.